Hey there guys, Tom here, welcome back to my movie channel and thank you very much for joining me for this, my review of the new Dwayne Johnson film, Rampage. Rampage is based off that very old video game that I've never played, quite frankly, and basically it's a giant monster movie where a gorilla and a wolf and a lizard destroy a city and The Rock has to try and save the world. Rampage is not as bad as I was expecting it to be. I've got to be honest and say that I enjoyed Rampage actually quite a bit. I don't think it's a great movie by any stretch of the imagination or by anyone's high standards, and it's definitely not a movie that, you know, I'd recommend rushing out to see immediately, but if you're looking for just a fun popcorn action movie, go see Rampage. It's quite fun. I remember seeing the trailers for Rampage, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan pops up in the trailers with, you know, putting on this stupid kind of voice. And I remember thinking, man, that's going to get really annoying. This character's going to really just piss me off. And I got to tell you, for the first 5 minutes he was on screen, I got that vibe again, and I was like, this guy's really going to annoy me. This character and the way he's playing it is just going to become really, really irritating. But surprisingly, I actually really dug his character. I actually found myself being quite entertained by his character. He plays some form of government agent, and his character arc in the film is actually pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it. Now, at the heart of this movie, it is a monster movie. It is about the gorilla George, it's about the lizard, and it's about the giant wolf that, of course, flies. And right away, I actually bought into the bond between The Rock and the gorilla. You know, his best friend George, who, you know, because Dwayne Johnson plays like this primatologist and he studies gorillas, and George is his best friend. And because I bought into that relationship, it allowed for some very humorous comedic moments throughout the movie, especially with the gorilla, because obviously they use sign language back and forth with each other. And there's some pretty funny moments throughout this movie. There are a couple of good chuckles I had through watching Rampage. But look, Rampage, by any stretch of the imagination, is not a great movie. It's a fun movie, but there are some negatives, and there are some pretty big issues with the film. Naomi Harris is in this movie, and I'm not sure exactly why she's in this movie, because really she served no purpose. Her character just served no purpose whatsoever in this film. And her and The Rock, you know, you'd think that Naomi Harris being a terrific actress, and The Rock just being a charisma machine, he just shits out charisma, you'd think that, you know, yeah, of course they would have good chemistry. They really don't. Their chemistry just really, it doesn't work in this film. All their interactions, all their dialogue back and forth, it just felt awkward. Now, Rampage definitely does suffer a bit of the Fast and Furious syndrome. You know, in the Fast and Furious movies, Dom Toretto is just basically invincible, and he can survive any kind of explosion, any kind of car crash. There are moments in Rampage where you're watching it and you're like, look, I know he's Dwayne Johnson and I know he's The Rock, and you almost believe that in real life The Rock is pretty invincible, but there are some things that happen in Rampage where you're just like, yeah, you definitely should be dead by now. That definitely should have killed you. There's no way you should be alive right now. But, you know, the movie didn't take itself too seriously. It knows what it is. It knows it's over the top. It knows it's ridiculous. And I'm okay with over the top and ridiculous, but I gotta, the villains in this movie are god awful. The villains are this brother-sister duo, and, you know, they obviously have their evil scheme, but honestly, you could take their entire part in the film out, remove all their scenes, and the movie probably wouldn't be any worse. Actually, it might improve the film because the characters serve no purpose. You're really just annoying, and every time they're on screen, you're like, can we just go back to The Rock punching stuff? So guys, that is my review of Rampage. Look, I can't highly recommend you see this movie. It's not a great movie, but if you're looking to kill a couple of hours and just looking for some popcorn eating, monster fighting fun, go see Rampage. So anyway guys, thank you very much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have more reviews coming soon. Avengers Infinity War is right around the corner. Look out for my review of the first Avengers movie. That's coming up early next week. Look out for that. And I will talk to you guys next time.